Hey, what's up, people? So, I don't really talk in videos. I haven't made a video in a year. Probably almost 2 years. But I now officially in GTA Online, which has always been my goal, to get every single Fast and Furious car from each movie. I've already seen the 10th movie. Um, and this is gonna be everyone on YouTube has made cars, and then there's like GTA comparison that's made extra cars. That there's cars that's on set that was supposed to be in the movie and was, and then some people even made cars that was on set that they didn't even make the movie, but they still made them anyways. Because there's been a lot of cars in Fast and Furious and even Need for Speed and other racing movies that cars has been on set, but they've never actually made the movie, been in a movie, or it's a car that has only been in one scene. But I have every single car in Fast and Furious. I have from Tokyo Drift, Too Fast, Too Furious, the first one, the third one, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, some cars might be the same because how I was looking at pictures and videos and how it was showing two cars of the same thing. And then it was showing a car from being the same car and it just showing a different color and all kind of stuff. And then there's even cars on set in the movie that was in one scene in this. And then there's even cars that wasn't even in the movie that was supposed to be. It's basically every single car. And even the cars from Hobbs and Shaw is in here too. This has filled up. I have no more room. I've used the penthouse, the arena, the agency. I've used 10 houses in total. I've used a 50-car garage that's new in the game, and I've used a 60-car garage. I absolutely have no more room. The only place where I can put cars now is in the last, I believe, 2 garages, 3 in the new 50-car garage, and that's it. But the 60-car garage right here, this starts Fast and Furious. Now, some of these cars is not going to have probably the liveries for it because I don't have really no liveries unlocked. So, no liveries is not really going to be unlocked. In case it's the ones that's really not, doesn't matter. So, this is the car, right? This is the first one. Then it's 350 from Fast and Furious, the first movie. I think Dom drove this, I don't remember. I think this car was supposed to have a livery and I don't have it unlocked. Obviously, this is the Dinka Kanjo SJ. This is, what's it called, the Honda Civic in real life. And obviously it lights up green. There's nothing really special about this car, but I still like it. And another thing is, I don't know if a lot of people are complaining about this, but this car, I believe, should have been added in GTA a long time ago. And I don't know why Rockstar waited. And obviously, everyone remembers this card, the Kanjo. I believe Dom drove this. I always thought the dude that was bald, had no hair, I forgot his name, drove this car. And obviously, Paul Walker spin number, the green, this thing. Obviously, it looks so much like the car in real life, how the whole car is built. And then the Jester, and then Dom's muscle car. This is the first. Wait a minute, hold up. I'm gonna go in probably in most of some of these cars. Some of these cars have neon lights, some of these cars don't. Some of these cars have stuff inside of it. Most of them don't. But at the same time, you can put whatever you want in the car. And then this car. You can see there's nothing in this car at all. And then Dom's, I think 1970 RT. You can see they put red racing seats in there. I don't know if that actually is in the first movie, or that was just put in there, because I don't know if it was like that when I bought it or not. So I believe this continues still the first movie. Now this car I had to go back and get because I forgot it was in a racing scene. I forgot his name, but this car was in that one racing scene in the first movie. And this livery actually looks close to it. This is like the white to it. It's not ice white, I believe. Like it's like a tannish white. But if people remember, before he was playing, before they raced, he had like an iPad thing like connected to his car, and he was using the same car that he was using in the movie when he's driving, which is this car right here, playing a racing game before the thing started. Now this car was in Fast and Furious. I believe this was actually in the first movie. Shocking. This car was actually supposed to be in the movie. I don't think it ever made it, but I believe this car was on set. And if it did make the movie, I believe it was probably just in one scene. But I think this car was on set, but they never put it in the movie. This is that one car that one dude drove. There's supposed to be a livery in the game, but it's supposed to go for it, but I don't have it unlocked. And if you guys want to know what this car, I love this car so much. The Karen Sultan Classic. A lot of people hate this car, I believe. But this car, a lot of people might not know what this car is actually supposed to be. It's supposed to be Mia's car, I believe, that blue car she drove. Now, a lot of people did not use, there's a lot of cars in Fast and Furious. A lot of people use, like, the Ennis Remus, and then they used all kinds of other cars. I used mostly the Nissans for everything, because people use, like, the Remus and the Banshee, for that. But, and a lot of people, this is Letty's car right here, and I used mostly Nissans for every car. I didn't use nothing else because Nissan's was the most car I used for everything. But yes, this is supposed to be Letty's car. It's like a pinkish red. Now this car is Jesse's. Jesse was probably one of the best relevant characters in the franchise. It sucks he died though, because everything apparently about his life in the movie. His car wasn't bad either. This is the closest livery. When I first made this car a long time ago, the only livery I put it on was I put it a blue, I don't know if it was a secondary color or if it was part of a livery, like on the whole side of the car. But Jesse's car is fast too. I believe it's fast. And the yellow car, I forgot his name. What's his name? Leon? This Nissan, I could drive this thing all day. I believe it's one of the best. The Nissans is probably the best Fast and Furious cars out there. Because the one with Letty, I believe it should have been really a Nissan Letty drove. I think it was. I don't even remember. And then Leon. And then obviously Paul Walker. But if I had to pick one and choose between Letty's car or Leon's, I'd probably pick Leon's because I think it has more color to it. But they're both good. I think this is probably starting Fast 2. No, this is still Fast 1. So this car right here, or no, I think this is starting Fast 2. This car right here, I don't remember, because I don't think, no, Tej wasn't in the first movie, or Tyrese. I don't remember if this was in the first movie or the second movie, but it's supposed to have like a brown livery, but there's nothing close to it into the game. But this is either in the first or the second movie. That's actually the livery for this car. I believe Dom drove this. There's a lot of ZR350s. And there's the Bravo Gauntlet Classic that was in the first movie, I believe. And then the D-Class Tampa, I believe that was in the first movie where they used it to drive over the dang boat. And then this is the Bravo Vision, I believe Brian drove. And apparently this car was in Fast and Furious, I believe the first one. I think he was probably in for a couple of scenes. And in this car right here, if y'all don't know what this car is supposed to rent, what this car is supposed to be, this is actually Vince's car. A lot of people like using different cars, but I think the Sultan was the closest car, and this was the closest livery to it. The only thing I hate about this car, that there's no spoiler on this car. I hate that they did that for the car in the movie, but I really wish this car had a spoiler. It would look so much better. But at the same time, it would probably have been better to use a different car with no spoiler instead of using the Sultan. Alright, this ends Fast 1. The first movie ever. Now Fast 2 starts. Alright, so the first car, I remember this car was actually in the movie, I believe, the first Bravo Banshee. It has a nice color to it, it's just yellow, there's really nothing else to it. I just believe it should have a spoiler to it, and it didn't. Everyone remembers this car, was Zuki drove, Banshee 900R. A lot of people don't believe it should have been by this car. A lot of people believe the Remus or a different car. But I believe it should be this one because this livery is probably like the closest livery from the movie, really. This car is, I forgot his name, but it was in that one race he drove. I like this car too. And then this obviously is Roman's car he drove. And this livery and the color looks, and it's really, really close to the car in real life in the movie. Now, some of these cars is not going to have the right colors because they ain't unlocked to them, but this is Paul Walker's, I forgot what it was called, was the blue livery on it, but this is, I don't have that dew yellow that's supposed to actually be the color for it. And obviously everyone knows this car, Paul Walker's Nissan. Everyone always argues which one's better, this one or the one in Fast 4. Yep. Alright, starting Tokyo Drift. Obviously, there has been really no videos on the internet, aka Little Bow Wow, Twinkie's car, to do with how it should be. Obviously, we know it's green and it's purple inside. And it has like a beatbox in the back of it. I don't think you can open stuff in here. Nope. But apparently, I guess the Maxwell Asbo is the closest car, really. There is one car from Benny's that you can make like it too. But there's people try to use so many cars, I guess, for this Little Bow Wow's car, Twinkie's car, but this is probably the closest. And at the same time, there's really no videos on the internet of Little Bow Wow's car. This car right here, this is the Tahoma Coupe. I believe I said that right. Tahoma Coupe. Or Coupe. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. This car, I believe, was drawn by Sean, a.k.a. Lucas Black. This car right here, I believe, apparently everyone always says this car was supposed to be modded. Apparently, there's not actually the right colors for this car, but this is a Nissan. But then this Remus is the closest car to this in the movie. And, yeah. This car is that one scene where the Nissan I believe they went into some place and they was parked. This car was parked outside of the place. I forgot who drove it. It was some bad person, I believe, in the movie. But they drove this car. Obviously, everyone knows this car. The Vaftadelli. Because he drove it, Lucas. And then Hans, famous. Best car ever, the Banshee. And then, apparently, the Vafta Dominator. I think this car was in Fast 2. Could have been the first movie, though. And then in Fast 4, the D-Class Impaler's up here. The Classy Impaler. Forgot who drove that car. And then the D-Class Vamos is up here. The thing R2-3, I believe that's what's up delivering. I remember this car too. I believe it was them two girls that drove, but obviously you can't make it how it is from the movie. And then the Euros, I think I said that right. And then both of these cars have liveries too. The colors look good. These are actually good and fast cars. It's just the liveries look way better on them. And obviously I like this car too. The Sultan RS. The livery looks so much from the movie. And this ends Fast 1 through 4. Now, there is another garage. I believe it's in the nightclub that there's more cars from Hop and Shaw, because I didn't look at every single car. Apparently, there was a part 2 of this, of Hop and Shaw. Of Tokyo Drift. I'll show that very soon. I'm gonna get me a car. And on is next will be Fast 5. Alright. Right here. So this starts Fast and Furious 5, basically when the whole crew comes together. Tej, Roman, everyone's already seen it. And then Gal, and then Tio and Leo. So now there's even going to be probably one of the same cars. There's probably both of them, like right here. Now, there's the Impont Nightshade. Apparently, some of these cars I really don't even remember if they're, but they're supposed to be. It's been so long since I've seen the movie. Apparently, this car is in Fast 5. This car definitely is. I remember it being in that one scene. I believe this car was supposed to be on set, or it was probably in a couple of scenes or something. And then the Comet SR. And these two bars was definitely in Fast 5. And Big L Sirius. Or wait a minute, hold on. This garage could be Fast 6, I'm not sure. Or it's probably Fast 5, I think it's Fast 5. And this is the last garage from Fast 5. There was only 2 garages of Fast 5. Alright, so we have the first Brawler Gauntlet Hellfire, first Phoenix, Royal Buffalo is, where they getting that money, Brian and Dom. And then apparently the original Classic was in there, and then that car, and the first Warner. But I believe this car is really popular because of one in Fast 6, and this car is what Dom Bryan jumped out of. Then another Jester Classic, a black one, an Implant Dukes, and then another Xfinity XXR. And this ends Fast 5. Fast 6 is the longest one because I believe I had to use like 4 houses for Fast 6. Alright, y'all, this is beginning Fast and Furious 6. Obviously, everyone knows this car. Well, Paul Walker drove. Apparently, this car was in there. Some of these cars I'm not explaining because I really don't remember seeing them. This Nissan was in there. It's either beginning or the end of the movie. Always everyone remembers Brian driving this. And that car was in there. Then the Gauntlet Hellfire. This one again. And I believe Roman drove this. I actually like that car, the motor of that car. And I believe this car was the car Shaw drove. Deckard Shaw, aka Jason Statham. And apparently the cars they actually give Jason Statham was actually not bad. But I believe, though, every character in Fast and Furious who probably gets the worst cars is probably Letty. She's probably the one that gets the worst cars. Again, like I said, there is about 4 houses of Fast 6. Fast 6 is the longest one. Don't know why my character went around in a circle. So this yellow Lamborghini, I believe, was drove by Roman or Tej. But apparently there was even 2 more Lamborghinis that was supposed to be in the movie and wasn't on set. Or wasn't in the movie or whatever. There's the white one, and that one's like an orangey reddish color. Obviously the yellow one was at the end of Fast 6. And apparently this Jeep was in Fast 6. And this car apparently was in there too, this muscle car. And then these 2 cars I believe Letty drove. So I'm saying they'd be giving her the worst cars. And obviously this is the rarest car in Fast 6, probably the best one. The Phoenix. Y'all, there's one more garage at Fast 6. So, the Colt Voltic apparently was in this franchise twice. And then there's a motorcycle was in this movie 2 times, or 2 different cars. I don't remember the JB700 being in there. I think I remember that car being in there, the Turismo, but not the. Oh, that's damn. Here's classic. Some of these cars I don't remember. Definitely don't remember these being in the movie. But I think they were on set and they were supposed to be. And there's 2 motorcycles. Alright guys, there's only one more garage and that ends Fast 6. Apparently, Fast 6 has more cars out of every movie. Surprisingly. Alright. I know my volume is muted. I forgot. But I guess I'll unmute it in the next video. Alright, I'll just unmute it now. This car right here, I believe, was drove by Shaw again. This car is supposed to have lime green, but I don't have it unlocked when Letty saves Paul from that bus. And there's Nissan, and apparently 2 of these vehicles. Apparently there was 2 orange ones, but this one has a black hood. Back of the black one, I do remember that in that one scene from Roman. This car jumped out the airplane. And then the last 2, obviously, the ending of Paul, his white Supra, and then the last car Dom drove with him. So I believe this is starting Fast 7 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. And we're the number 4 cars fast. I think this starts Fast 7. So this garage probably down here is the garage that ends Fast 6. This is probably the garage that ends Fast 6. I didn't do the houses in order. So that's the garage that starts Fast 7. This is the one in Fast 6. There's only like 3 cars in here. Oh no, never mind. All these cars apparently was in Fast 7. Including that Reaper right there where they jumped out that damn building. Black Banshee. Yeah. Yeah, we already did the 4 garages of Fast 6. Yeah, I'm tripping. Already 4 garages of Fast 6 has been done. These are the 2 garages of Fast 7. The last one's over here. I believe that only has like 3 cars in it. Alright guys, these last 3 cars right here. Apparently these cars I don't think were on set, or they were, and they did not make it into the movie. Yeah. This car don't belong in here. That's part of a different movie. But this car was supposed to be in the movie. It was not on set. They didn't put it in there. I like the livery and the color to it. This T20 was supposed to be in Fast 7. Didn't make it into the movie. And this is like a low rider turbo custom of the D-Class Sabri turbo. And yeah. And this car is from a different franchise. Alright guys, I'm going to continue 8, 9, and 10 and all of them show in the next video. So I'll see y'all in the next one.